Last year I tested the HP Omen 45L, and at that time it was the best option available from HP, but now they've released the new 45L with new components, and that's what I will talk about today and tell you if it's worth or not spending this amount of money on the new model. It's really important for you to watch this whole video if you want to find out every detail about this PC in case you want a new pre-built system, and we are going to compare this one to the last year's PC that it's also available on the HP website for much less money. Now, if your budget is way below these numbers, don't worry about it because we will have a bunch of pre-built PCs for different resolutions and different budgets in the video description, as well with my website where you can find the perfect PC build or pre-built PC for you depending on your favorite game, your budget, and the estimated FPS that you want. That being said, let's start. So first, we are going to talk about the components. If you don't know anything about PCs, don't worry, I will explain what this PC is capable of running right after talking about these components. For the CPU, it has the i7-13700K, which is the latest i7 model from Intel, great CPU. For the GPU, we have the RTX 4070 Ti, which is the currently GPU that I have on my PC build, and let me tell you that for high FPS 1440p or even 4K, this GPU is going to be enough for most people out there. Then you get 32 gigs of RAM of DDR5 memory on a Z790 motherboard, alongside a 1TB SSD and a 1200 watt 80 plus gold power supply for those future upgrades. Talking about the cooling for this PC, I've tested one of these 45Ls before and the temps were really cooled with a great looking case, by the way, so you don't have to worry about temperatures for this system at all. Now, like I said before, if you don't know anything about computers, this PC is capable of 4K gaming or 1440p really high FPS. If you have a 1080p monitor, I would not recommend you buying this system, and even for a 1440p monitor, it might be an overkill depending on the type of games that you play. The RTX 4070 Ti competes with the RTX 3090 or 3090 Ti, which means that it's a really good 4K resolution GPU as well. If you're thinking of buying a 4K monitor and you're not sure if you should go with the RTX 4070 Ti or let's say the RTX 4080, which by the way you can customize it on this system on their website, but I will talk about that in a second. And it really comes down to the type of games that you play. If you're going to play games like Flight Simulator or Cyberpunk 2077, then you may want to spend a bit extra and go with the 4080. However, if you're playing esports titles or games like Red Dead Redemption 2 or GTA 5, then I wouldn't spend any extra money on a more powerful GPU, considering the 4070 Ti is all that you are going to need. Now, like I just said, you can customize this system from their website by clicking on Customize and Buy, and you can change the graphics card from the 4070 Ti to the 4080 for an extra $200 and from the 4070 Ti to the 4090 for $761. Now, this is a really expensive upgrade to go for the RTX 4090, and I would only recommend you doing this if you want the best of the best. However, most people will be happy with the RTX 4070, and even with this GPU, the PC itself is expensive at $2,900. But if your budget is around $3,000, I think it's actually worth the price considering all the things that you get inside of this system. It's also a pre-built PC, and trust me when I say it is going to deliver excellent performance on any type of resolution. If you're a content creator, you can also upgrade the CPU from the i7-13700K to the i9-13900K for $280 extra. Now, even content creators are going to have a great experience with the i7, but if you're doing really heavy workloads and you really need the i9, you can actually customize it yourself from the website, just like you can with the GPU and other stuff like the storage or memory. However, I want to say that if you upgrade the CPU, do not upgrade to the i9-13900KF, mainly because it's only a $40 difference between this one and the K version, and you get that extra iGPU that is going to help video editors out. And trust me, for gaming, there's basically no difference between the i7 and the i9. You are not going to notice it with your eyes. So without any upgrades, $2,900 for the 4070 Ti version or $3,100 for the 4080 version, which is surprising that it's only $200 more expensive considering the RTX 4080 itself is more than $200 more expensive than the 4070 Ti. So if you look at it from that point of view, it's actually worth the upgrade to the 4080, especially if you want to do 4K gaming on the titles that I mentioned before. And then for the 4090 version, it's going to cost you almost $3,700. However, let me tell you this, on the market right now, RTX 4090 PCs out there are more expensive than this usually, so even with the most expensive configuration on this PC, it's actually cheaper than most competitors. Now, if we take a look at the PC that I've tested myself, by the way, you will have a whole review about it with benchmarks in the top right of the screen, in case you're interested on buying that one. We are talking about a system with the RTX 3080 and the i7 12700K. It's still a great PC for high FPS 1440p and even 4K gaming for $2,000. Now here you get 16 gigs of RAM of DDR4, which is not going to be the same as 32 gigs of RAM of DDR5, especially when it comes to multitasking, because when it comes to gaming, there's actually not a huge difference. But the key point here is the GPU. You're spending $2,000 instead of $2,900, so $2,900 is actually 45% more expensive than $2,000. And you are getting around a 20% faster GPU on the new PC. Now that is only when it comes to the GPU itself, but while gaming you can expect a 20% all the way up to a 30% on average. It's worth mentioning that the 45L with the 3080, which is the last year's one, it's on a hot sale right now for $700 less. So if it's not on sale, then the new one makes sense. But if you have $2,000, you don't want to spend $3,000, you're going to be happy with the 3080 version. However, if you have $3,000, I think the 4070 Ti PC itself, it's a great system. We will see if I can test it this year for you guys, for you to see the full performance, but let me tell you, for 1440p, really high FPS or 4K resolution is going to be more than enough for most people. And even the last year's PC with the RTX 3080 is going to be enough for most people as well. Now on my community page, I will be uploading in case the new 45L has a new discount, just like the last year's 45L has. So if you want to get notified when I upload that, please subscribe, but most importantly hit that bell button, that way you get notified. If you got value out of this video, leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly hit that bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content, and you will have the link to both PCs, the 45L from last year's and the 45L from this year, down below in the video description. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.